vibe for the next figure. I use that term very loosely. There is articulation, but it's more of a statue. It's very pre-posed. So though it, you know, you could do it like this, I think it's probably meant to be done like this. And this hand probably goes down or something like that. But it's weird because it disconnects, because it looks weird if it's up. And his face is always like tilted. So that's the only, well, I mean, I like it. It's hefty as well. This is like what I mean by one of the adult collector ones. The chain, of course, is like not there. I don't know what that's for. I think it might have been pushed into like a stand of some sorts.
Actually, it should plug into Cy-Gor, another Spawn character. The statue plays homage to issue 57's front cover.
It's so weighty that it doesn't really need a stand. For the most part, I have him sort of in like a, you know, a beaten pose, like in a recharged pose. Also, it's missing the other flap of his. I didn't really talk about that on the other one. I really do like his collar. Will you say that? Yeah, like collar, or similar to one that you'll see in like Doctor Strange films. But this one is way cooler and so much more gothic. This one is quite spiky, so you know, be careful when you're picking him up and things like that. It won't properly like pierce the skin. With these sort of ones, I'm always scared that I'm going to break them more. The cape is exquisite, so good, and also I haven't like dusted this one. So with Spawn, he's the only character you can get away with. If you leave him to look grimy or dusty, it works for the character. Just saying that right now. You can quote me on it. I just love how it is. And this one feels heavy. Like in the comics, it looks like it's a struggle for him to even walk in it, and this one does have
That feel.
doesn't bend. So, and this one's not articulated. You'll see where it kind of joins together. You've got one of these kind of collar bits. It looks different slightly. His skin colour is, it doesn't look as charred and as gross. I know he looks very much like the Capullo looking art. But yeah, so that's what he looks like. The tongue looks good. And the lack of tongue, you know, it looks like he's in a lot of pain, which is very emotive and very cool. I'll go through the articulation now. One rotates, but it will hit on the, you know, and it'll maybe ruin it. That looks pretty cool though. But the thing is, because they're cut in such weird ways, and it's because it's a pre-posed figure, you'll get like the, how do I show it? Yeah, there you go. You get like the cut, and like with figures, I don't normally mind, but other collectors very much do. Okay, so that rotates. You could get probably like all the way up and all the way down with it. Oh yeah, can't get really 360 without. There's no other rotation apart from the hand rotates. Oh, by the way, that's a nice detail. Like the vein on the. That's a cool detail on the hand. Also, these ones look very much more like metal, not like goo. There's a torso joint which rotates, like not 360, but close enough. I'll be honest, the pose that I have him in, I think, is the only pose you can really get him in. And this one's like more like a paperweight, in my opinion. The leg can rotate, you know, pretty well at the upper thigh. And it's hidden. That's like the only joint that I think is hidden pretty well. And the pouches, oh, love pouches. On any Capullo character, they always look like properly pouched up. Not quite like, you know, Rob Liefeld, the Deadpool creator, but, you know, close. And then there's, for some reason, there's rotation here. And it's not being funny, useless. Because, like, yeah, you can get him looking more like dramatic and, I suppose, dynamic with his falling or with his, like, submissive stance. By the way, the metal detailing on like, the club foot, another thing that I'm not too big on. I know loads of people like that look. I think it might have been because he was injured or whatever, and it kind of grew around his foot to, like, support it. I can't remember, it's been a long time. Like, the detail to make it look metal is quite cool. This one rotates too, all the way around. And the chains on the top, which are cool. The first time we've seen like sculpted chains on a figure.
A slightly shorter walkthrough this time, but still so much to consider when collecting. Thank you for watching my The Art of Spawn 2004 2-pack of Spawn vs Cy-Gor Spawn review. Tune in for the next instalment, the 10th anniversary Spawn from 2002.